Love my glasses. I used to be able to read without my glasses, even with 20 font, but it's a little challenging. So you weren't supposed to start crying until I did my thing, but happy Friday, everyone. Most of you have known Shay longer than I have, so much of what I say may be old news. I joined the county 5 years ago, and one of the challenges we had at the time was the overcrowding of our jail. And well, doesn't that sound familiar? In talking to many in the justice system, they mentioned the need for an expedite. I never heard of it. They did. And in the discussions with DA Paul Howard, DA at the time, he said in his own kind of uncertain way that I needed to talk to Clerk Alexander. I said, what is she, French? Not that there's anything wrong with it, by the way, but so just kidding. In my first meeting with Shay, I was struck by three things that I realized is core to who she is. First, I was blown away by her knowledge of all things related to the justice system. She knew how every agency functioned, knew the history and root causes of many of the challenges that we had, and had a knowledge of systems like Odyssey and GCIC that is unparalleled. To this day, if I have a data problem, I call Shay. I say, Shay, I can't find this. Shay, I can't figure this out. And she, more often than not, will either give me the answer or tell me that she'll go off and find it. My second takeaway was how many people she knew, right? She had trusting relationships with individuals in the county and outside the county. Those relationships in other courts helped us figure out how to develop best practices. And the relationships here at Fulton County allowed us to have discussions and make changes in a way that wouldn't have happened had we not relied on her relationship. In fact, when we needed to meet with our new DA and Sheriff Labat before they were in fact sworn in, right, to talk a little bit about the transition, they didn't know who I was, but Clerk Alexander, she put together the binder and really helped to establish the beginning of our relationship. But third, and perhaps most, I was impressed by Shay as a person. It reminded me of a combination of like Mary Tyler Moore and your favorite cousin, right? Happy, smiling, right? Brings lightness to the room, but at the same time had qualities like being authentic. She had qualities like being committed to Fulton County and its citizens, and she is optimistic to a fault. In fact, it's the only way I can explain why she believes the Falcons are going to win the Super Bowl in our lifetime. Sorry. What can I tell you? So, as Shay gets sworn in today, she tells me I'll need to call her Madam Clerk moving forward. I got about 12 minutes before that happens, right? But I can't think of anybody better to take the baton and build on the incredible legacy of Tina. Make no mistake, her new role will be challenging. She'll have to raise money for an election. She's gonna have to stave off candidates whose motives are not as noble as hers. And she will undoubtedly be the subject of a bunch of inaccurate portrayals as she goes through that process. And as her friend, I have asked her at least a half dozen times, do you really want this guy? I have. I said, do you really want to go through this? And in true fashion, she sincerely believes she's destined to take this next step in helping the clerk and the entire justice system better serve the citizens of Fulton County. Really? So in closing, I want to thank Shay for the privilege of working with her. Are you having them taken out? Or? In closing, I want to thank Shay for the privilege of working with her on taking the justice system virtual during COVID, improving the technology platform across Fulton County, launching and managing Project Orca. There's probably 20 others, but I'm on the clock, so I'm not going to share those. But most importantly, I want to thank Shay for her friendship and being a trusted advisor. If not for her, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be sitting on a beach somewhere. I'm still trying to figure out whether that should be in the plus column. But that having been said, the fact of the matter is I wouldn't have been able to do my job, and many of us wouldn't have if it hadn't been for Shay. We're lucky to have her. I wish Shay the success and happiness she so richly deserves. Godspeed, Madam Clerk.